Okay, hey ZINGO Nation, it's Ryan Anderson and the beautiful Kelly Allred coming to you live from the ZINGO headquarters here in Lehi, Utah. We've got a great webinar for you guys tonight. This is the 5th Thursday of the month.
Woohoo! Bonus.
Bonus. This is our bonus week, and we are excited. We've got some great things going. We're going to talk a little bit about the compensation plan. We're going to talk about structuring your business tonight. So thank you for being on the call tonight. And Kelly, what in the world was we thinking about doing weekly webinar trainings on Thursday Night Football?
I know.
Seriously,
that
what was you thinking?
Idea.
Yes.
Your idea.
Yeah, so maybe we can do chips and salsa and Zalo while we're doing this meeting with us. So, hey guys, we've got a fun one for you guys tonight. Make sure that you guys get a pen, a paper. We're going to have this recording up so that you guys can look at this later. Again, thank you so much for being with us today. This is, for those of you who are brand new, this is our one and only weekly webinar training that we do every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So again, thank you so much for being with us tonight, and we are going to dive right into this. As always, we love to start these out with a quote. It says, if you really want to do something you will find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. That's by the great Jim Rohn. And, you know, Kelly, that's something that you always ask, what's the biggest difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person? And the biggest difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person comes down to a choice.
Right.
The successful person always chooses to be successful. And that's why I love this quote by Jim Rohn, because it says, if you really want to do something, you'll find a way, and if you don't, you're going to find an excuse. And, you know, I believe that every one of you guys that are listening to this webinar tonight, or whoever's listening to the recording, that you guys truly are about finding a way and not looking for any excuses. And so thank you for being with us tonight, and thank you for all that you guys do. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the content of this, and we're just going to give a very high overview of the compensation plan. ZINGO's plan is what I would call, with my years of experience in this industry, a hybrid unilevel plan, meaning that it is a volume-based plan that is it's all volume-based. You create volume, you're going to get paid on it. It's just a beautiful opportunity to be able to be a part of that. I've never seen anything in the industry as friendly and great as the ZINGO's compensation plan. So with that being said, it pays infinity width, 9 levels deep. There's 3 ways to win with ZINGO. You can buy wholesale, sell retail, create customers, and I truly believe that ZINGO has one of the strongest customer programs in the industry, and then building a team of people who either want to become product sharers or product builders. And then we break our compensation plan into 3 easy segments: fast cash, residual pay, and leadership pay. And these are just some of the highlighted areas. And the reason why we do this, we talk about the power of threes. We do everything in threes here at ZINGO. It's 2 to tango, 3 to ZINGO. You know, we build with threes. We just launched ZINGO Eris with threes. We've got the Zalo Pro line with threes. It's just 3 is a beautiful, magical number with us here, and the 3 ways to earn. So we're not going to go into a lot of details around the compensation plan tonight. Just wanted to kind of give you a quick high overview for some of you that are new, or a refresher course for some of you that have been here for a little while. We've cracked the code. Our plan is simple, it's generous, it's global, and it's rewarding. ZINGO Statistics, and this is something that I get really passionate about. And as we start building the new face of ZINGO, and we start rolling this out as we've been doing this over the last several months, we really talk about and focus on helping people get started. That's the number one thing. You know, we want to help people build legacy incomes here. We want to help people build a future. We want to help people build a legacy. But at the end of the day, one of the things that we are focused on is helping people get started and get started right. And so we're creating one voice, one message, one system. And so these statistics, ZINGO's broken several records, tons of records in our 13-year history. But these are probably some of the ones that, these statistics are the ones that we are the most proud of. And that's, ZINGO's helped more than 170,000 people earn $1,000 or more in a single month. And ZINGO's also helped more than 250,000 people earn $500 or more in a single month. And we're proud of that. We're proud of what we're doing. And you guys have heard me go on the record. It's probably been recorded several times, me talking about how I truly believe that this company is going to do 3 to 4 times more in the next 12 years than what we've done in the last 13 years. And I truly believe that. We're already on that trajectory. We've got the foundation. We've got the different things that are just fun and exciting as we're able to do that. And so tonight we're really going to dive into talking about one voice, one message, and one system, helping people understand what it is that we're doing so that we can truly help everybody be able to plug in and to find success right out of the gates. And that's something. So Kelly's going to help me here tonight. The beautiful Kelly Allred. For those of you who don't know Kelly Allred, you need to get to know Kelly Allred because she is the most important person on the corporate side of ZINGO. And one of the things that she does, her and her team, is she's over all of the strategic partnerships with all of the top leaders all over the company. Kelly has been here since before day one. She's worked with the owners. I think she lies about her age because I know that she's worked with the owners for over 20 years. And yet she told me she's only 24. So I don't know if it's these wonderful ZINGO products that make her look so young, but she is definitely one of the most important people. So when we dive into structuring your business and how to be successful in doing this, this is a guideline. We're always going to tell you to get back with your sponsor, get back with your upline premier to plug into, to get business building strategies and to get dialed in with your team. But this is a rule of thumb that we're looking at. This is something that we're putting into place so that we can help with the guidelines to help you guys be successful. So with that being said, Kelly, let's dive into this first slide here. Take over the controls, take over the seat.
Thank you. Thank you.
And start driving this machine.
You know I'm kind of weird when I get passionate about strategy.
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
This is weird for me.
Kelly and I shared lunch today, and literally shared. She took a bite, I took a bite. But one of the things that you are talking about is kind of like, okay, what is it that you and hubby do at nights? And she was talking about how she just literally sits down and strategizes people's businesses, and that's her passion. So it's definitely exciting to definitely have her a part of this. So,
True.
Kelly, with that being said, take it away. Start driving.
You bet. So one of the most common questions that I get, and probably you guys get as leaders on here, is as I'm enrolling people, where do I put them? Where do I place them? How do I structure? What's the best way? How can I make the most money, or how can I help others most effectively? And so we're trying to without stepping on any of the trainings that people have done before, we're really what we're trying to do is make a unified for the brand new person. A unified message, a unified way of at least starting their strategy. These are real generic slides that I'm going to go through, and it's something that you guys, if you want to, you can teach it as well. But it's just very simple, and from what Ron Otterstrom and Ryan and I have seen, this is the most lucrative way to build your business from the beginning. So on this slide, you'll see you right here. And you'll see A, B, and C, okay? The A, B, and C are sponsored to you. So these people are all personally sponsored to you. So what we discussed recently is, do you keep all 3 of these people personally placed to you, or is there a better way or an easier way to help you build your business? And so you can see on this model that you keep the sponsorship of A, B, and C, and you put C placed front level to A. So A's first level.
No, either A or B, right?
A or B.
And one of the reasons when we start talking about strategy from structuring your businesses correctly is one of the things that I love about a volume-based compensation plan is that literally you have the ability to create synergy within the teams without jeopardizing your future, your checks. And so when you're building this, obviously you are going to enroll 3 distributors, and we're going to talk about customers here in a second because customers are equally, if not as just as important, if not more important than distributors, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. We're simply talking about structuring your team from a distributor perspective. So you're going to sponsor distributor A, distributor B, and then you're going to place sponsor distributor C, and then place them, keep the sponsorship, but place C either under A or B.
That's right. So the next slide here.
Now, really quickly before you do that, sorry. I'm one of those people that asks a ton of questions, and so I'm going to ask these so that when you guys ask them, you're going to get the answers too.
Right. Thank you.
So now, why would I place C underneath either A or B? Like, what is the advantages to either distributor A or B in that scenario, and what's the advantages to me by placing C underneath A or B?
Good question, Ryan. So one of the reasons why you would place C under A or B is because you want to, first of all, it kills two birds with one stone. You need 3 sponsorships, okay, and you need at least 2 placed legs. So if you place one of them underneath the other one, it can start building volume for both of those legs. So if you place C under A and C starts building it, it actually builds A as well, and that helps your sponsorships. It brings up your sponsorships, and it also helps your placed legs. So I'm meeting my qualifications because when ZINGO's compensation plan, you're going to look at 4 qualifiers for your qualifications: your personal order, your group volume, your sponsored groups of people, and your placed legs. That's correct. So in this scenario, starting out, I would have 3 sponsored groups of people, A, B, and C. Yes. And by placing C underneath A, I'm going to have 2 placed legs at this point in the scenario. Is that correct? That's absolutely correct. Now, so just to clear, so A is now going to earn on distributor C? Yes. Wow, that's cool. And also, again, it kills 2 birds with one stone because C's volume counts for A, which also helps counts as a sponsorship. So as C's volume is counting towards distributor A's volume here, that really makes it helps A qualify, and so I'm basically counting that volume twice because I get to count distributor C as a sponsor group, and then C's volume is helping distributor A's volume, who's also a sponsor group of people. So I'm counting that volume twice and helping that because I get 3 sponsors. Correct. Yep. Wow. See how easy that is? That is just awesome. That is a great benefit of this plan that we can actually do that. So not only is it smart to structure it that way, Kelly Allred's killing birds all over the place. Killing birds. Killing absolutely. Birds. Awesome. Absolutely. Cool. It's really smart as people bring in a bunch of groups, and you'll see on this second slide right here. So in the same scenario, A and B being your so A, B, C, D, E, and F. Sounds like my report card. Sorry, you guys can see what I'm talking about. All of these people are sponsored to you. So at this point, you have 6 sponsorships. Okay, we have a lot of people that's bringing in massive amounts of people on their front line or sponsoring and enrolling them, saying, okay, how do I group these together that makes sense? And so we say keep sponsorship of these, but start grouping them up. And as you can see, under A, as far as placement goes, C and F are placed. You still have sponsorship. And D and E are placed under B. You still have sponsorship. And, one of the questions is well, who do I put under what leg? When do I stop putting placement underneath there and start building, another leg? And, basically what we, as the guideline would be, is as soon as your A and B hit 5,000 in group volume separately, then you start branching out and trying to make another leg with these people. Now, one of my biggest, I've got a lot of pet peeves in this industry because I think a lot of companies market to their customers or their distributors or their potential prospects in a way that, like a binary, a lot of times there's the fallacy that you only have to recruit 2 people, one right, one left, and then,
you're going to make tons of money. Or, force matrix is, once you fill this bucket, that bucket's full forever, and you're just going to earn on that bucket, and then you just focus on your next bucket. The reality is that this is a numbers game, and if you talk with any one of the million-dollar earners, multi-million-dollar earners, any leader in this industry, inside ZINGO and outside of ZINGO, they're going to tell you that this is a sorting process. And there's the thing I love about ZINGO's compensation plan, and we're going to get into this here in just a second, is that if you're a great recruiter, you can build a great business. If you're not a great recruiter, but yet you're somebody that can share the products and you can gather customers, you can also build a great business here with ZINGO. And that's something that we're going to talk about here in just a second. So, one of the things that we look at here from this perspective is that you're going to recruit more than 3 people in the lifespan of your business, and that's important to do that. And so what we're talking about, and again, we're just simply putting together a framework, a guideline to help you understand, to help the new person get started, or maybe you are a new person listening to this, or maybe you're just somebody who's checking this out for the very first time that is wanting to be able to take a look at this. And so Kelly, in this scenario, what you're saying is that obviously from the first scenario, you sponsored 3 people, A, B, and C. You place C underneath A in this scenario, and then you're going to continue building. You're going to recruit other people, and as a rule of thumb, we're suggesting that you would keep building underneath A and B until either Team A or Team B gets to that $5,000 threshold. Is that correct?
That is correct. Now notice on here that I didn't put E placed underneath D, or I didn't put F placed underneath C. I actually put F and E placed under A. So I'm building A and B wide. I'm not building one on top of each other in placement. So I want you to make note of that F and E are placed directly to B and A. So it helps with volume, on there. And there again, now you have 6 sponsors, and you have, all of them are somewhat helping each other out in this placement line, and ultimately you'd end up having 6 or 7 or how many other qualified sponsorships just from them sharing this volume and going wide with it. So again, this is a rule of thumb. This is for your average person, your new person. And again, if you're on this call, maybe you're trying to find ways to help teach this. This is one of the easier ways. Do you want me to slide to the next one?
Yeah, and again, the one thing to keep in mind is that this is a volume-based compensation plan. And as a rule of thumb, I always tell people, never work, meaning sponsor and place people below your 3rd level. Because the further you place people down in your organization, the further that volume is that you're pushing it away. Yes, we have dynamic compression. No, we're not going to get into that tonight. But what it is that you want to keep that volume high and tight the closer to you. And so I always say, as a rule of thumb, never sponsor and place anybody below your 3rd level. Right. Keeping that volume high and tight is going to ensure that at the end of this, that as you build out your structure and you build your team, that you're going to have both width and depth, because you need both of that to be able to have a good income here, but that you're going to have a residual income that at the end of the day that we can help build legacies with. And that's really important to us, right, because we want you to build this once. We want you to build it right. We want you to be here 30, 40, 50 years from now. And we want you to focus on that, because this is a legacy company. So just with that, that's the one thing I would say is that when you start talking about placement, remember that rule of thumb in the back of your head. Now, is there going to be a scenario where you're going to have an Aunt Betty who brings you cookies every Christmas, and she's on your 3rd level, and you want to help her out because her neighbor is also your neighbor, and you want to do something? At the end of the day, use common sense. It's your business. You're the CEO of your business. You get to hire and fire whoever it is that you want. And at the end of the day, you're the one that gets to determine who you get to work with, right?
That's right.
But as a rule of thumb, remember, high and tight, right? Like Ryan's neckties, high and tight, and never sponsor a place below your third level. Kelly.
That's right, absolutely. I want to add one more thing to that. With this plan, this beautiful plan that we have here, there's really no need to ever give away your sponsorships at this point. So keep those sponsorships. Placement is absolutely crucial in this, but there's no necessarily reason to give away sponsorships of a distributors, at this point. So just take that off the table, because it is just placement that you need at this point. Okay, so next slide. That's the same one.
Let's see.
Oh, no, I clicked it. Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, so this one is representing a customer tree. So take distributor out of your mind for a minute, and this is a customer tree. Okay, so with this scenario, or with this diagram, you see Z. Z is a customer. Okay, above Z is you. So what we come up with is that, legally, Z can be a placeholder for your customers that come in. You can actually build a place leg, a sponsored and placed leg, out of your customer volume, and we're encouraging this as well. So you'll see in this diagram that Z is your customer, meaning you can put that in your name, your husband's name, or somebody's name as a placeholder, and then you take all of your customers that are coming in, and a lot of you guys have a lot of customers, and you sponsor and place them underneath that top customer. Now with that, the question is, do I still get paid the 15% on the customers that go below there? And the answer is yes. It's a customer tree. You'll get paid on every single customer that is put in that tree. Doesn't matter how many levels down, you'll get paid on that.
And when you say you get paid on that, customers can't earn commissions. They can earn free product. We can pay them in product, but we can't pay them commissions because they're a true customer. So what Kelly's talking about here is that when you start a sponsored group of customers, you're going to have one that you sponsor, and then you sponsor all of your other customers to that customer. Okay?
Correct.
So that customer is getting the sponsorship of all of those customers.
Yes.
And you're earning 15% on every one of those customers, and their customers' customers, and their customers' customers. You are personally going to earn 15% on every one of your customers.
That's right. And in the meantime of doing that, it's also building a leg for you. So it could be used as qualifications. If you are a 5K and you needed a 1K leg, you could actually use this group of customers, if they're at 1,000, as a 1,000 group for your 5K qualifications.
Now, customer volume counts towards your overall group volume?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Now remember, this is a volume-based compensation plan, so if your customers count towards your group volume, and I can use this customer leg that Kelly's talking about here as my sponsored and placed leg of a group of people,
yes,
for qualifications as well. It's all volume-based. Now, in a traditional unilevel, or in some binaries, or some forced matrices, or some of these other compensation plans that are out there, you would actually need that particular individual to hit a certain rank. So if you have that, with this, it's all volume-based. So if you would, because there's just a couple of questions coming in on text. So so for example, if in this scenario, distributor A, and you've placed distributor C and F, but you've kept sponsorship of both of them underneath A. If Jim Rohn says, he has this great lecture where he talks about, people who are here today, gone tomorrow, and he talks about how the birds done got them, and you sowed all these seeds, and the birds done got them, and they just never fruition. If A, for whatever reason, ever goes away, stops ordering. It doesn't matter. That always counts as a sponsored group of people as long as there's people that have come into the business as a result of that first person that you came into. It's all volume-based.
That's right. So reiterate that. If A doesn't even place an order, does F and C's volume still count towards qualifications as that for that leg? And the answer is yes. It doesn't make a difference who orders. It doesn't make a difference if it's your first level or your 30th level, as long as that group has that particular amount. And say in this case, if you're looking to be a 5K, as long as that group has 1,000 in that leg, then you're perfectly fine. That's the dynamic of this volume-based plan. I mean, it's really, it blows my mind sometimes to even think of that, because it is really that easy.
Well, because for years we've been handcuffed with structure requirements and all of these different compensation plans that are out there. Exactly, and that's a perfect word. The beautiful thing about our compensation plan is that there's nobody holding you hostage anymore.
Right.
And literally, because it is a volume-based compensation plan, you can go down and build in depth. If somebody down on your 4th or 5th level is a rock star and they're ready to run, you can go down and run with them, and you don't have to worry about people's levels on 1, 2, or 3 who are crawling.
That's right.
Or if there's somebody on your 8th level that wants to fly, go down there and fly with them. Your potential is not limited by somebody else's desire in this compensation plan, and a lot of those structure-based compensation plans that are out there, they are limited to based on other people's desires. So
Absolutely.
This is a true volume-based plan.
So
I think it's really important, as Kelly's talking about the customer leg care, being able to use it as a structured, as a qualified leg for volume and everything else. So it is a beautiful opportunity to be able to do that. Now, the question is, I'm getting a couple of questions about this just for some clarifications. Because you sponsored this customer, this lake, and then you're sponsoring other customers to that customer.
Yes.
Those customers are not on your 2nd level. Because remember, a customer cannot earn commissions. So therefore, your customer's customers, and that's the scenario that Kelly's talking about here, you will earn 15% on those customers, on all of those customers, because they're not a distributor. You don't earn 15% on your distributors' customers. Those are paid out through the sponsor tree, and that's a conversation that we'll get into at another time. But just in this scenario, you'll earn 15% on your customers' customers' customers. So I just want to make sure that everybody is clear on that. So
good clarification there. And again, on here you can see Z. That can be your own placeholder. You don't have to put it in a crazy name, or you don't have to keep it in a customer's
Put it in a spouse's name.
Put it as name it customer. I mean, whatever. It doesn't. It's absolutely fine to have a placeholder for your customers. It's a great way to build your business. So what does this kind of look like all together? You'll see all, I'll start with A, B, C, D, E, and F are all sponsored to you. Z is also sponsored to you. And then you start grouping these ones up under your placement. Now the question is where is A and B going to place their personals? Well, what you do is you teach them the same thing that we just taught you, and that is, when A and B starts getting personals, they keep 3 sponsored. They have 3 sponsored, and they teach one of them to go placed front line to the other ones and start building out that way. Exact same model is what you teach your A and B.
I will tell you, like so many. I have literally traveled the world and talked with some of the top leaders in the industry, and the majority of them we have in this company, and we're attracting many, many more. But the one thing I will tell you that if I sat down and every one of them, which I have, what is the number one key to your success in this industry? Every one of them will tell you duplication, duplication, duplication. Do not try to reinvent the wheel. One of the biggest issues that we find in this industry is that people are constantly trying to reinvent the wheel.
They spend a lot of time.
Exactly. Don't reinvent the wheel. So distributor A and B, you're going to teach them to do the exact same thing that you're doing.
Exact same thing.
C, D, E, F, you're going to teach them all to do the exact same thing that you're doing. And one of the things that I find like here at ZINGO, a healthy distributor business unit is a minimum of 3 distributors, 3 customers. Everybody should focus on that. Right out of the gates, you've got to help them get their 3 customers and their 3 distributors. If they can do that, they're going to have a healthy business unit.
Very healthy, very healthy. So a question comes in, what happens to nothing beats free? Well, I mean, the same thing. Z, so over here, Z is a customer. Customers can get nothing beats free. In fact, nothing beats free is a customer program. We just happen to have distributors allowed to do it. But really, when we made this out, it was for the customer so they can get customers. So if you have your main customer account that has 3 customers underneath it, that account will get nothing beats free. So that's your account. You'll get nothing beats free as long as you have those 3 customers underneath there. Yes, absolutely. This is how it's going to look. It's beautifully framed.
Now this is just getting started. This is the getting started phase, right? Once I have distributor or team A and team B up to that 5,000 in volume level, then I'm going to go and start a 3rd leg, a front line placed, and start building that out as well. Now, keep in mind, because you're placing people on B and A, there may be people in your upline that's placing people on your front line. Those will still count as placed legs for you, and we want to make sure that we have that width and everything else. So here's a great question. How do you create a customer holder? So if Marilyn's asking the question, beautiful Marilyn's asking this question, so couldn't I just go in and say Marilyn and then use my address and sign that up as a customer account?
Yes.
So I would just go into my back office and just create a customer account. And that customer account doesn't even have to have an order to assign customers to that, correct?
No, it does not.
So you could go in and create a customer account placeholder, right?
Yes.
I could use my own name if I wanted to. Grace Dick, the beautiful Grace Dick, said she's signing up Ryan Anderson.
Yes,
and I'm
nice
great. I'm going to be that customer, and I told her I've got a whole bunch of network marketing dropouts that I'm going to bring with me. But you could go in and create a customer account. That customer account doesn't even have to have orders, but now what that does is that starts that leg, and then you place all of those, sponsor and place all of your new customers to that existing customer account. You're still going to earn 15% on all of those customers, and so on and so forth throughout that, and that's got to that.
So for some of you guys that are hearing just for new, even if you've been an existing distributor for a long time, some of this might be new to you, and you have a customer base that you've sponsored and placed to you already that are ordering. Can you at this point move those customers underneath your customer holder that you just made? And the answer is yes, you can do that. If you want, you can email customer service, you can email me directly or an elite service rep, and we will simply move those customers underneath your customer.
Because we've got several hundred people on the webinar tonight, and I love you, and I want you to be able to get some sleep tonight. Let's have you go, so is it customer service at ZINGO.com if I wanted to do something like that? Or I could actually call customer service. I believe it's customer service at ZINGO.com is the email. Or I would pick up the phone and just call customer service and do that if you wanted to, so they could help you do that as well.
Absolutely.
So,
or re-enroll them.
Yes.
You can re-enroll those customers if needed.
Absolutely.
Worst case scenario.
Correct.
Okay.
And that customer account that you're creating, if you're placing those customers underneath it, that customer account can earn free product as well.
Free product.
And the beautiful thing about with the Zala Pro and the Eris and all of the products that we have that makes it fun and easy to share, you can then use that free product that you're earning off of that customer account to go out and sample and invite, which is step 4 of our 8-step process of the power of 3.
very dynamic. The customer doesn't even have to, your personal customer order doesn't even, our account doesn't even have to have an order. It's simply a placeholder. That's where you're stacking all the volume. You as a distributor will get still paid on it. It still counts as I volume. One important thing that I want to say is that the sponsor and placement of a customer has to be the same. We're not saying that you sponsor them personally and then place them underneath that customer account. We're saying that customer account has to sponsor and place, that's a mouthful, sponsor and place those group of customers directly. And you still get all the benefits. Everything still, you get your I bonus, you get your nothing beats free, you start building a leg with it, you start hitting ranks with it, you get your 15%. I can go on and on what this benefit is.
So basically what we're teaching you here is from a strategic standpoint is, because remember what I said at the beginning of this, if you're a great recruiter, you can be very successful here at ZINGO. If you're a great customer gatherer, you can be very successful here at ZINGO. Like a lot of compensation plans that are out there that are on the marketplace that people are touting as being the greatest, they only cater to either one or the other. And with our compensation plan, we reward both handsomely enough to be able to help people to be successful either way.
Right.
We obviously like people to do both, but you know, still, if you look at the ZINGO organization today, you know, over 84% of all sales come from customers. And that's because that's a huge credit to the quality of products that ZINGO has. And it'll always be that way. You know, if you look at the reason why we have this company is to be able to take these incredible products to the world. We just allow people to have an opportunity attached to it and reward people for sharing these products with the world. And so at the end of the day, it's important that we always focus on building customers, that we always focus on helping you guys grow your business, because we want you guys to be here forever. So is there another question?
Yeah, good question, Karen Johnson. If your customer volume, let's see, also counts towards Paradise trips when sponsored and placed under your customer center? And the answer is yes. We've made your customers, you will get the trip points benefit from that.
Hey, speaking of the trip, Kelly, talk a little bit. We've got almost 900 potential people coming to the Paint the Beaches Orange in Mexico. So we've got 4 days left in the month of October, and then we've got the month of November to qualify for the Paradise trip. We want every one of you. I'm looking at the names of people on the webinar with us tonight. A lot of you guys have already qualified. Now, how many of you guys are going to bring team members with you? So make sure that you are, please, 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 please help those people on your team get over that threshold, get over that finish line to go on this trip with us, because I'll tell you, the very first incentive trip, ZINGO's Paradise, is going to be a trip that will go down in the history books as one of the funnest trips ever. And I guarantee you, the people that are on that trip will look back at it as a pivotal moment in their ZINGO careers that helped them get to where they're going. And so make sure that you guys get there, and make sure that you get your teams there. Is there a question from the beautiful Ed and Sandy?
You guys are the first to come on that trip, and you know, everybody who's qualified for it, this is the first Mexico trip, so we're really excited about this. And just so you know, I know there's some unanswered questions about you know, extending your stay and your rooms and stuff. I'm going to have Sam on next Thursday's call going over the different numbers and how to extend your stay, and lots of great things about that trip. So next week I'll advertise that, and you can get some information and some of your questions answered about that trip.
Awesome.
So such great things.
Well, we always try to keep these webinars to 30 minutes because we know that we're probably first quarter of the Thursday night game. Gronk is on my fantasy team, so with that, we want to wrap this up and be respectful of y'all's time. And I'm gonna share this quote. I love it. It's by Joel Brown. It says, "Your success is determined by how much you can really learn from your failures." And that's the beautiful thing about ZINGO, is that at the end of the day, every sunrise gives you a new opportunity to start over. Just because we had a bad day today or yesterday doesn't mean that we have to have a bad day tomorrow. I will tell you that, that if you wake up with a heart, with a prayer in your heart and a hope for a better day, you will have a better day. We're going to have a better future, and we're going to go make things happen. Success is determined by how much you can really learn from your failures. There's never really any mistakes in life. There's just learning lessons. So, if you're starting, even if you've been with ZINGO for 13 years, you get to start over today. This is a brand new day, brand new opportunity, brand new face of ZINGO. Thanks, Sandy and Ed. Gronk scored a touchdown. Yay. I'm glad that you guys are such great multitaskers. I love that about you guys. This is a brand new day, and this is a brand new face of ZINGO. And I will tell you that the people who dig in and get started today will be the ones that are hanging on the $1 Million Club room down there. They're going to be the ones that are going to have their names imprinted in the foundation of this company out in front. They're going to be the ones that are going to build the legacies. And we get to look back 20, 30, 40 years from now and look at the legacies that we built together. And I couldn't be more proud to be building them with each and every one of you guys. On behalf of myself, the company, Kelly and I, we love you guys. We are appreciative of everything that you guys do. And in true WDT fashion, it's your time. I know it's your time because you're on this call spending it with us. It's definitely our time because I get to see the numbers and the growth and all of the excitement. I know it's our time. I get to see what's coming ahead of us, and the time is now. God bless each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all that you guys do. Thank you for repping this incredible company, these incredible products. We love you guys. Kelly?
Yes, love you guys. I hope you feel it. We most certainly do, and we're here to help you in any way at all times, any time.
Awesome. God bless each and every one of you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Our Aussie friends from down under, have a beautiful day, and all of our friends in Asia and Europe, thank you for staying awake with us. Love you guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.